Just one crow to start the Darkness Festival.
There's inconceivable light years ahead.
I guess that's as high as the sun is going to get.
The shortest day.
This moment framed in the window.
Too brief the hours.
The dawn of a new year.
Cut short.
We're through the worst of this year. The light's coming.
My 8 minutes are up.
How long you got at the very turn of the year? Only the beginning of more light.
21st to 22nd December 1916. Today, the light failed by mid-afternoon. We've been marching under cover of darkness since regrouping at La Pugnoi, where we stocked up with ammunition. The weather's been deteriorating. Hard rain during the day and freezing cold at night. We grease our feet beneath our socks, but still my toes are numb. The dark is close and safe. Brunny said, "I reckon I must have slept sitting up in the saddle. You ain't gone any faster than the Hodnadod, and all you can hear is the ratican of the limber, and them old chains are chinkling. That's easy to doze off." He's carved a tiny bird out of wood from a broken cart. It's a tradition in Suffolk, he says, to hunt the Cutty Wren at Yuletide. In ancient times, she dwelt in the underworld, and country people killed her to end the winter. He keeps his carving in the top pocket of his tunic. He'd let the wren live, he says. I wish I could carry a place with me in the way he does. I'd cling to it for distraction. There's no comfort in the bricks and cobbles of Whitechapel. In my memory, the little damp rooms are just a succession of temporary lodgings. I filled my days walking among strangers in their streets, withdrawing each evening as if to lock the gates on a ghetto. Last night, we struggled to climb a hill, which necessitated a stop to fumble in the bitter cold, screwing cogs into the horses' shoes, to fit drag ropes and haul on the limbers, and then wait at the top for the animals to get their wind back. Exhausted, Brunny sat on the frosted grass and drew each arm in turn across his face. When he sucked in air, I realised that he was sobbing quietly. We're through the worst of this year. I placed a hand on his shoulder. The light's coming. That's nothing we can look forward to, he said. Just more time for the snipers to get us while we're sitting up like hares. Thank you very much.
He sniffs in that way he has. I know it would be better if I could just keep quiet. We could still turn this around, I want to say. We could make it into a funny story. Or a heartwarming story, at least. Guess where we were when we decided to stay together, I would say. Go on, guess. Doncaster Station! Can you believe it? On the shortest day of the year, too. I'd leave a pause then. Wait for whoever was listening to say, "What? Really?" And I'd be ready. I'd jump back in and I'd say, "Do you know, if Miles hadn't left his hat on the train when we were on our way to Hull for my uncle's funeral, we would probably have gone ahead with the divorce." We've got a chance. I can feel it. Maybe it'll turn out well, you losing your hat, I say. Miles kicks the wall like a thwarted 15-year-old. Fucking shithole, he says. Typical day out with you and your fucking family. The injustice nearly knocks me over. I start to cry and the cold is good camouflage. It isn't my uncle's fault that he died in December, and it isn't my fault that Miles has lost his hat. I've lost things myself often enough, I say. That's true. I have. Right here, dashing for the Hull connection. The voice on the tannoy always reminds you to take your belongings with you, but umbrellas, hats, wives, it's easy to leave them behind. I'm sorry about your hat, I say. I'll try to get you another one when we're back in London. I don't fucking want another one, he says. More like 10 years old now than 15, and I don't want you. I want the hat I left here this morning on the way up when you tried to rush me off the train. We're going to wait here until the lost property opens, even if we have to wait all night.
daylight saving time. In this house, we are each in our own time zone, living in a continuous present. I am locking myself in my head, seeding furrows. I am letting the chamomile tea cool, burying the nagging thought the day is almost done. My son is recovering under a skinned duvet, at least an hour behind my mean time, in a subtropical fog. He is lying on popcorn seeds which failed to pop, red-eyed, headachy from a sleepover with no sleep. Above him, a demigod in the attic, his father is germinating an argument, his head in files and next week. He is labouring until the wee hours, measured in boy hours, as inconceivable light years ahead.
The woman hesitates on the doorstep and puts all her weight on my arm to get across the threshold. In the neon kitchen light, she looks even older than I thought. Not Mum's age, not nearly, but in her late 20s, perhaps. The matting of her hair is caused by blood. Would you like to wash? She looks at me blankly. I rub the side of my head. She raises her hand, touches her scalp cautiously. Wash! Yes! I can't place her accent. She's small and dark, but it isn't the accent of any of the farm workers I hear on the bus every day. Martin looks anxious, probably worried she's going to get blood on his precious coat. I take her as quietly as I can up the stairs and into the bathroom. She stands staring while I get a clean towel out. I put in the plug and run the water for her, like she wouldn't know how. She perches on the toilet, the coat swinging open. She plays with the chain, swinging it from side to side like a cat with a toy. Right, I'll leave you to it. This time I sound like my father. I suppose I'll eventually say something that sounds like a 15-year-old boy. Possibly that would be more embarrassing. I shut the door and hear the faint splash of feet in 3 inches of water. I jerk my head at Martin and we head into my room. He sits on the bed while I pull out my oldest jeans and jumper. I know I'm going to lend her clothes and I won't get them back. I pile the clothes against the bathroom door and walk quietly away. Why are we doing this? Martin asks. What I want to say is, why wouldn't we? What I actually say is, got to? Martin nods slowly. That's what I feel too. Got to. But why have we got to? I shrug and start looking for shoes. Ned, he says anxiously, why? I settle on slippers, an unappreciated gift from some aunt I never see. I can't shake the feeling of obligation. I should go home, Martin says, an unfamiliar vein standing out in his forehead. Don't leave me alone with her. I manage to whisper. He sobs. The door opens and she stands there, jumper and jeans waistband barely matching, her hair tied in a dripping knot. There are grey streaks in the wet hair, and crow's feet and frown lines plain on her face. Now it's clear enough to see. No scratches.
The others always said I was a soft touch, the weak one. Not just goddess of the hunt, but medicine and fertility too. That's why I flirt with out-of-towners when the chance arises. My whole family looked down on me back then, especially to Kitsatok. Well, who's master of Caribou now, Tech? Nobody. That's who. Because animals can't pray and nobody else believes in you anymore. Poor Tech. He never listened. Neither did the others. People will always want children, need medicine, I would protest mildly as they lorded it over me. Nerevik, Nujalik, Anaquagsak and the rest. They scoffed. They laughed. People will always need the hunt, they said. What, one day humans will stop eating fish, catching seal? You're crazy, Pinga. Get over yourself. They didn't listen, and now they've gone. swallowed by McDonald's and pot noodles and microwave craft dinners. I'm the one who guides dead souls to the afterlife, on top of everything else, so if anyone should know where the others went, it's me. But I don't. They just weren't there one day. We didn't exactly meet up regularly. Like most families, we have some conflict issues, but somehow I always thought they'd be around. Despite knowing, remembering what happened to Isis and Katito and Bast, Sukkar and Quetzalcoatl and all the others. Who? Exactly. Nerevik and me are the only ones left now. And only because she's still the patron goddess of fishermen, whether Inuit, Canadian or whatever. They may not know they're praying to her when they hit a swell or hunker through a storm, teeth gritted, lashed by salt ice, but they do. She's old though, and tired. She sees the long night approaching, but doesn't want to fight it. Ma, I say to her, we've got to do something. The humans strive for survival, why shouldn't we? But she just sighs in that enormous empty way, like the sea against the night shore, and says, Pinga, a mother should not outlive her children. The shortest day will come soon. Wherever your brother and sisters have gone, let me join them. They're nowhere, I tell her. There's nothing. Don't you get it? The afterlife is for people, Mama. All we have is life. She shakes her head and closes her grey-blue eyes. There's ice behind them, creeping cold. But I won't go quietly. I won't lie down for the darkness.
Now we have come to the cold time.
This earth's longest night.
Past 3 o'clock.
A discordant jangle of midnights.
It was the longest night.
Darker even than the wild midnight above the waves.
After that the dark.
Swallowed by the darkness.
Me bonny pretty bird, sleeping in me bossy.
Are you awake?
Oh, the snow it melts as soon as when the wind begins to sing.
And it is 3 hours until the child will normally rouse itself.
6, 5.
The man in 512 is trying to sleep.
Hush, you squally